Who is Sade Robinson? Well, if you've never heard of that name, you probably would have never heard of her until you came across this video. Sade Robinson is a 19-year-old college student who disappeared after going out on a first date with a gentleman named Maxwell Anderson. And I use gentleman lightly because he is a piece of shit, to be honest with you. Why do I say this? Why am I so harsh when speaking about Maxwell Anderson? It is because he is the man who was found guilty of murdering and then dismembering Sade Robinson's body. That's exactly what he did. He is the lowest of the lowest human beings. He is a Navy veteran who surprisingly, took an oath to protect the country, went out on a first date with Sade, and she never came back. Now, this story was made national news because it was a white man and a black woman. So, of course, there were a lot of people who made it very racial. They turned it into a racial situation. Me, for instance, I don't care. A man is a man, a woman is a woman, whatever. The color does not matter. Your ethnicity does not matter. I just know that there are bad people in this world and there are good people in this world. It doesn't matter what color you are. That's how I judge people. I judge you based on the character, your character, what you display to the world, not the color of your skin. So CBS decided to do a story about Sade and exactly what led up to her disappearance and dismemberment.
Now, when a college student in Milwaukee vanished after a first date, law enforcement used an app on her phone to trace her whereabouts. As investigators zeroed in on the teen's movements, they uncovered chilling security camera footage. 48 Hours correspondent Anne-Marie Green has more.
On April 1st, 2024, Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old college student from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, went on a first date, but she never returned home. The next morning, the charred remains of her car were found behind an abandoned building. Lead Detective Joe Donner of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sade's.
This detective right here is pretty smart because she could tell that Sade was not the last one driving the vehicle, which means what? Someone had to have driven the vehicle, moved the vehicle to the place where it was found and lit it on fire after doing what it is they did to Sade. You should definitely prioritize your safety when it comes to dating. And when I say dating, I'm talking about someone that you don't know, because I guarantee you Sade did not know Maxwell Anderson. She did not know who he was. They probably met where? Online. That's where a lot of people are meeting each other nowadays. Online. And we have heard too many stories about people meeting others online, going on first dates and not coming back. This isn't the first story. This isn't the first time this has happened at all. It does happen too often than we want to actually address, because then we would know that there is an issue in this country or even in this world when it comes to male and female dynamics and first dates, blind dates, dates that you meet online, because you actually do not know who you're meeting online. You just know of that person and what they've told you.
No.
Donner says the last person to drive Sade's car had to be at least 6 feet tall. Sade's date that night was 6'1".
They probably just put you on to something new too, because a lot of people honestly probably don't even know about this app, that it even exists. Of course, we know about Find My Phone, and I needed to find some information out the other day, and I just could not trace my phone to everywhere that it was. It only told me where it is at the time. So Find My Phone does not have a history of where your phone has been. So it's surprising to know that there is an app out there that actually tracks the whereabouts of your phone and can give you a history of everywhere your phone has been. I can see why this tool can be used to solve certain crimes.
As investigators traced Sade's movements from her app, they obtained security camera footage of Sade with Anderson on their date. Anderson would later say that when he and Sade parted ways, she was fine. But hours later, according to her Life360 app, Sade's phone arrived at an area along Lake Michigan. Investigators went there and uncovered this grainy footage of a figure seemingly dragging something to the lake.
Wow.
Who do you believe that figure is?
Maxwell Anderson.
Well, that is some eerie footage there. 48 Hours correspondent Anne-Marie Green is with us in studio to talk about this week's episode. Anne-Marie, good morning. Great to see you, as always.
Yeah.
How crucial was that Life360 app? Because I heard you speaking to some other people about that story. They're like, we need that.
This app is something else. This is not like Find My Phone, right? This uses GPS. So it's very accurate in terms of locating where her phone was that night. It was crucial, incredibly crucial, because almost immediately they knew where she went. So they could go to those locations, get things like surveillance video and other evidence that would have been lost if they had waited weeks.
And how unusual was it for her to be at, is it Warnemont Park?
You said it right. So this is kind of a large park, but very unusual for her to be there at that time of night, and especially that location. Her family thought it was very, very odd.
What about Maxwell Anderson?
Yeah.
Did he have ties to the park?
So
how close is he to the guy?
Yeah, a little different for him. We actually spoke to one of his ex-girlfriends who said that he would go to the park all the time, but specifically he went to one particular area that he sort of thought of as his own.
Wow.
He would take his girlfriend there. He called it his secret beach. So as you can imagine, when investigators learned about this, they were very interested.
I could see exactly how they can use this to solve so many crimes. Because let's say I have that Life360 on my phone and someone else has that Life360 on their phones. We've interacted. Something happens to either one of us. Guess what they are able to do? They are able to track both Life360 histories. They are able to see exactly where my phone was during the entire encounter and their phone was during the entire. I can see how that can be useful, but at the same time, we have to raise the question, when does it become surveillance? When does it become an invasion of privacy? Because for them to know exactly where you've been, I don't know, unless this is something that you and only you can access at the time. And the only way that the police can access it is if something was to happen to you and they get a court order. That's different. But if anyone, or even if law enforcement is able to just access this because they want to, no. I don't agree with that. I am a big advocate for privacy. I am not about surveillance at all. I am not about a surveillance state where you are being watched and tracked all the time. I'm not for all that, even though I know it's happening right now. Trust and believe. There's cameras everywhere. Your face has been picked up on several cameras within the last month. Facial recognition is a real thing. So yes, I already know that it's probably happening right now, but at the same time, when you have things like this on your phone, which allows them to gain access to everywhere you've been, it gets tricky. It really does. And that's only because it could be used in nefarious ways. They used this to solve the crime, and trust and believe it made the police officer's job a lot easier. They were able to track her movements, and then they were able to get the camera footage from those areas where she was at, and they seen exactly where she was, who she was with, and especially that beach footage. Trust and believe, I know that definitely solved the case, and this is the reason why Maxwell Anderson is serving a life sentence. He is not to get out, not even with the possibility of parole, due to the extent of this crime and how heinous it was.
2 seconds, we saw this experiment with the driver's seat. Were investigators able to tie him to that car and being behind the wheel?
Well, you know, Sade was short. And he was tall. He was 6 foot tall.
And he burnt the car.
The driver's seat is that there's no way somebody shorter than 6 foot would have been driving that car when it was set on fire. And that was just another indication that Sade was not the one driving around the city that night.
Wow, it's so fascinating to see how they piece clues together. Anne-Marie, always wonderful to see you. You can catch Anne-Marie's full 48 hours report.
My man is a piece of shit. He's a piece of work and a piece of shit all in the same. Why do I say that? Because he's disgusting. Honestly, in my opinion, any human being that can actually do something like that to someone and then dismember their body, they're just disgusting. I actually do remember this story from back in 2024 when they were questioning where she was and her family was searching for her. They did not know of her whereabouts. And this man knew exactly where she was because his despicable ass did what? He murdered her and then dismembered her body parts in separate locations. Her leg was found in one place, her arm was found in another, her torso was found here. That's what he did. Now, the question that we really need to ask is not where she went, because we know that. It's not who she was with, because we know that. It's not why she went out on a date with him, because we know that. It's why did he do it? They say that they spoke to his ex-girlfriends. So my question is, why did he do it? Why did he do this to Sade Robinson, of all people, this 19-year-old college student who only went out on a date because she wanted to meet someone new and form a new relationship with a despicable person like Maxwell Anderson? We'll never know, honestly. Y'all be safe out there. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.